MarshallofRock.com, and tonight, hitting California, Charm City Devils, Baltimore, Maryland Rockers. We got vocalist, singer, songwriter, man of many talents, John Allen. Thanks for coming on Marshall of Rock, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. How's California treating you?
Really good, man.
Yeah?
We just played Modesto last night. It was awesome. So looking forward to the show tonight.
Now you guys are on the road with Fear of the Dead Man right now?
Correct,
yeah. You played with them last night? Now you're just kind of
doing a headline.
Yeah, headlining gigs.
Yeah, a little fill-in show, headlining tonight here in San Luis Obispo. I said that right?
Well, San Luis.
San Luis?
A lot of people say San Luis. It's all good. First thing, you've been in the music business for a while. You're a survivor.
In and out.
In and out? Yeah, okay. But you made a segue. I know you were a drummer back in the day. Now you're the front man for Charm City. And how did you make that transition from being behind a kit to being out front?
Well, I'd sung backups forever, but finally, like the last band I played drums in was SR-71. I got to the point where that band was winding down, and I just I figured, hey man, it's now or never. I was finally confident enough in my own vocal ability to be a lead singer, and I just figured it was time. I wrote a song called "Burn Baby Burn," and I thought I was onto something there, and it just grew from there. So yeah, and then having to learn how to. At the time, I was playing guitar and singing. That was a big challenge. So now, fortunately, I have two great guitar players. I don't have to play guitar on stage. I can just kind of run around, be a little freer on stage. Than kind of being. I felt like I was anchored to the mic stand when I had the guitar on. So now I have a little bit more freedom out there.
Right on. When you were in an elite company, we were trying to think of any other artists that have made that transition. Dave Grohl being one.
Dave Grohl, yeah.
Phil Collins.
Yeah.
And who's the other one?
I would say I'm a poor man's version of Dave Grohl. Can't compare myself to him. He's the man.
He's the king.
Yeah. Our drummer loves. Is so in love with Dave. So, and with good reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually there are a lot of them. Steven Tyler was a former drummer. Sully Myrna from Godsmack was a former drummer. There's bunches. A band from our neck of the woods, Sixx. Their singer was actually a former drummer as well.
Well, I'm a big Sixx fan, so I was going to have to ask you a question about Sixx.
Yeah.
You obviously interact, probably maybe jam with these guys before, right?
Yeah, we play with them. Yeah, they're great guys, great band. It's really interesting to me that they're really they're finding respect now within the industry, or at least with audiences, and it's been a long time coming, And those guys, seeing them years ago, when I was a kid, like they were gods to us in the Baltimore and Maryland, scene. They were probably one of the best or the best live bands that I'd ever seen, and for them to get all the accolades that they're receiving now, I love it.
I don't know if you knew. I just saw something there.
They got signed.
Yeah. Now that live in Baltimore.
That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. A buddy of mine who works for them sent me a message yesterday about that. And so,
they're coming out here to Cali too.
I'm really happy for them. Yeah.
Well, let's get back to you guys.
Sure.
You had the first album, which I wanted to touch on. Now you're with E1 now, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And you were with 11-7 Music, which is Nikki Sixx. Is he still doing that, or
I believe he's still the president of the label. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he, how did that come about first before we transitioned to the second album? How did that come about? Nikki recognizing you guys and getting you with him?
Well, it's really it's not a very exciting or rock and roll story. It's kind of by the paces, but we had a song called "Let's Rock and Roll." We played a live show right after Nick actually joined the band as the second guitar player, and we did a show in Baltimore, and one of the programmers from 98 Rock, the big rock station in town, he's the music director, he came out and saw the band play live, and he said, hey, he's like, I'm going to add that song next week to our playlist. He was like, it sounded really good tonight. I said, okay, sure, man. You get a lot of smoke blown up your here took us, you know, in the industry over the years. And I just thought, yeah, he's a nice guy, you know, it's cool, whatever. Maybe it's a couple of beers talking or whatever. And sure enough, man, next Tuesday he gave me a call and said, he said, you know, hey, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to send me a copy of that song. I'm gonna add it. I'm like, dude, that's not me doing you a favor. That's you doing me and us a huge favor. And he put it into rotation, and right off the bat, it started doing really well. A lot of calls. Radio stations do this thing called call-out research. It's what they sort of live and die by. You know, they call people and they play them pieces of songs, and you know, and they do surveys basically. And depending on how your song does on those call-out researches, it really depends on, you know, whether your song gets played or not. And they give you, you know, they give the listener about 5 to 6 seconds of the song, so it's really
better grab.
It's great, you know. Yeah, you better grab them. And so anyway, they researched the song, and it came back like really high. And he called me and gave me a heads up. So I just started shooting emails off to people in the industry that I'd met over the years. You know, like we were alluding to the fact that I've been in the business for a while. None of those people got back with me. But I sent an email up to 11-7, didn't know anybody up there. I said, look, this is my name, this is what I got going on, this is my past track record, you know, really love to partner up with you, you know, because it seemed like what we did kind of fit with that label. So sure enough, like a day or two later, I got a phone call from the radio department there, and in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I was in New York meeting with the CEO of the label and the whole rest of the staff in New York, and it just snowballed from there, you know. And Nikki actually they were about to name him to be president, and he came in right before we finished our deal. He heard our stuff, he dug it, you know. He was like, yes, let's do it. They're going to be my first signing, and that was cool. And then he went on, he named the band. So, you know, we needed a name, and
so you got your name from Nikki.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, cool. You know, the guys.
You did Crue Fest too, right?
Right.
Is that 2?
Crue Fest 2, yeah. Yeah, he knows a thing or two about marketing. So when he came up with the name of the band, we were like, done. You know, let's do it. So yeah, it was pretty.
Well, then you came out with the album Let's Rock and Roll, right? And you got a video, which kicks ass, and. Yeah, I love your brand of rock. Just gritty, in your face. Right. You know, no bullshit. Right. Kick-ass rock. And now you're on to your second album. Just came out this past Tuesday, right?
Correct.
Since. Yeah. And available everywhere, by the way. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But the track, A Man of Constant Sorrow, top 20, man. Congratulations on that. But how did you decide to choose that track from you know, I mean, I knew it from the movie.
Right,
from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Right.
How did you guys decide to choose that to cover and rock it up to you know, the point where it really kicks ass and it's a big success for you?
Yeah, we were really fortunate. I don't know. A lot of people have said like how outside of the box that is. I guess it is because, you know, it was a bluegrass classic. I just, you know, I love that movie, and the year that the movie came out, the soundtrack was up for, I think, multiple Grammys. And I remember them, I think it was Ralph Stanley performing the song live on the Grammys, and it just sent shivers down my spine, if I'm remembering that correctly. I just always kind of, you know, tucked it away in my memory and thought, that might be a cool song to cover one day. And when we started to do this record, we thought about, hey, you know, let's do a cover song, and we messed around with a couple other things, and nothing seemed to really be quite right, you know, and so we tried this one out, and you know, it was actually a little bit of a difficult song to kind of retool because it's very long. If you like the full version of the song is like 5 verses, which in today's, you know, music, you just don't have that. You know, you don't even have 3 verses really anymore most of the time. So I kind of lopped off the last verse, and I wrote what is kind of deemed the more modern chorus for it, or at least what I felt like was a real chorus for it. And we completely got rid of the music, you know, retooled the music. The only thing we left was verse, melody, and lyrics. And you know, the song, it's lived on for at least 100 years, and we're really happy that the song kind of struck a chord with audiences of all.
So did with me too. I got to tell you, I have a radio past. I was a director. I've been a program director, and you know, I love it when a song grabs me immediately, and I got to say that is one of my favorite tracks of the year so far. There's 3 or 4 that I put up there to the top. That's one of them. Just a great track. I hope it continues to rise up the charts for you a little bit more.
Thank you, man. I mean, I have to mention too, is Skidd Mills produced the record, and you know, a lot of that. What is great about that track is the eeriness. You know, the backwards vocal on it that he did. You know, like after I cut my vocal, he reversed the, you know, all that kind of poltergeisty sounding kind of vocal. You know, that's him, man. And, you know, he did an amazing job on this record, and he gave it that kind of dark feel to it.
Yeah, who else has he worked with?
He's worked with Saving Abel.
That's right.
He's worked with a ton of people. I mean, like, you know, he's been doing it. He was in Memphis, and now he's in Nashville. But you know, he did the Saving Abel record. He did Patty Porter, which I love.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah,
just a ton of stuff. He's a multi-talented guy. He's a great songwriter, great producer, engineer, great guitar player. You know, he even plays drums. He's great.
So Nashville, you said you know, the different process of recording from the first album to the second.
Right.
It seems like Nashville now, that whole area is becoming the music capital of America instead of out here in LA or even New York. You know, a lot of people are doing their thing there now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jack White moved there, and I think Kid Rock has a residence there. Yeah, a lot of rock people moved there years ago. I guess it's you've got a lot of opportunity there, a lot of studios, and it's cheaper to live there really than LA or New York.
You're on the road with Theory of a Dead Man. Let me just touch on this real quick. What's the best part of touring?
Well, I'll do the worst part first. The worst part is driving. You know, we're driving ourselves on this tour. Next tour, we're hoping to get a bus or these things called a bandwagon, which they're like 2/3 of a bus. They're really cool and cheaper. That's the worst part, driving. We just did a drive from Colorado Springs to Lewiston, Idaho. So it took us 22 straight hours. Yeah, and then after that show, we did another 16-hour drive after that. So by the end of the run, our nerves were very frayed, and we get along really well. I mean, we've been friends for years, and it was still a little tense, you know. So when you're that tired, it's really tough.
Whoever has the worst gas, you know. Gets pissed off on worst gas in the frickin' in the band, you know. Get pissed off at that guy.
Oh yeah. That would be our tour manager.
Oh, okay.
That's bad in a band. As he left. But you know, the best part is playing for thousands of people. I mean, we've done some huge shows with Theory and Theory of a Dead Man, and they, you know, it's been fantastic. They're a great band. They're great guys. Their crew are great people. I mean, they've been so helpful for us, you know, and to us, and it's been great. And their fans are great. So you know, it's been awesome. Great experience.
All right, just a couple more questions for you. What bands introduced you to rock originally? I mean, what you know? I mean, we can talk influences, but I like framing it. And what inspired you to start playing rock music?
Well, my next door neighbors had bands when I was a little kid, and you know, I heard inevitably you hear the Smoke on the Water guitar riff over and over again, blasting through the walls. So I think from there I kind of like did research, like was trying to find out about Deep Purple, and that was one of the first like real rock records, and then like the older kids, you know, were into Aerosmith and Kiss, and you know, those bands, and of course Van Halen, you know, all these American rock bands, and you know, my first real memories of any kind of pop or rock music was my parents had Beatles 45s, and they had Beach Boys 45s. And that was the early stuff. But as far as rock stuff, those were kind of things. And then Metallica, of course. You know, that had, you know, these heavy bands.
You got success with the first single, but I want to touch on, have you, now the album's out, do you know what the next single track video is going to be?
Yeah, the next single is Unstoppable. It actually goes to radio either next week or the week after.
Is that the one that was for WWE?
Yeah, it's already been used for WWE pay-per-view special, and you know, we're hoping to get other placements with it too. It seems like a natural fit for sporting events, but we'll see. You know, I mean, the song is very powerful, and you know, it's awesome. The label, you know, E1 seems to really love it, and they're you know, they're behind it, you know, 100%. So hopefully this song will strike a chord with people like Maniconso Sorrow did. You know?
Yeah. I'm sure it will. I mean, you know, you laid some good groundwork here now. You know, we're happy you've come here to California. Besides the next single, do you have any other upcoming projects or anything else happening that we might need to let our viewers know about?
Well, we're finishing up this tour with Theory, this leg, in a couple of days actually. But we're going back out with them in October, and we'll do like a month straight with them, and then that'll lead us into like Thanksgiving. And then so check our websites. We have all the tour dates up there.
It's charmcitydevils.com.
Right.
Facebook,
yeah. And then after that, we'll be doing Christmas shows after Thanksgiving with with different radio stations and whatnot. So we're talking about maybe doing those things with Pop Evil and stuff. They're on our landline.
All right. Well, the CD's out. iTunes, CD Universe, Best Buy, Walmart, NewberryComics.com. They're big on that. So, or your local record store. So definitely check it out. But one more question. I'm a big sports fan. I mean, you know, I got my retro Expos. It's just, yeah, I mean, you know, they are now the Washington MLB team, but you're from they moved back. The Expos moved to Washington. But talking Baltimore sports though, I mean, you're a big Ravens fan, obviously, right?
Yeah,
I saw Flacco in your EPK a while back. What do you think about their chances are this year, man?
I've been on tour, so I haven't really had a chance to follow them as closely as I normally do. But it appears to me that they're getting bitten by the injury bug pretty early in this preseason, or already. Well, they're not even haven't even played a game yet, right? So it's just in the training, spring training. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned because you know, you get through a year like last year where injuries weren't such an issue. You know, it's always like, man, you know, it's tough when those things crop up. You know, we've had years where a couple of players go down, you know, and it's not the same. So it can really affect. I'm always hopeful. I mean, I think Joe keeps growing. I think he's phenomenal. Our receiving core has gotten better, and you know, we still have the defense. Yeah,
I saw Ray Lewis has lost like 20-25 pounds.
Oh, really?
I guess because of the whole change of the passing attack. I guess he figured he needed to change himself to adapt. So I mean, geez, 25 pounds to Ray Lewis. That is a lot. And your Orioles, I don't know if you're a baseball fan, they're playing well finally.
13 years of futility, you know, and this season they're doing good, man. As a kid, we used to go to the old Memorial Stadium to see them play, and you know, the Cal Ripken era, and even before then, you know, like Jim Palmer was a fantastic pitcher in the 70s, and Brooks Robinson. I mean, these classic players, you know, and it was a proud franchise, you know, and hopefully they can continue on this path and restore that.
Well, I'd love to have my Raiders meet up with the Ravens in the AFC Championship, but we got to have Palmer and McFadden kick some serious ass for that to happen. But you never know. Never know.
I mean, I recall that playoff game years ago where Tony Saragusa did a belly flop on Rich Gannon. He was never the same after that, man. He 360 pounds he landed on you, man. That'll take you out of it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely will. Well, hey, we'll wrap it up right there. I appreciate you talking some sports with me, man. Besides the rock and roll.
No worries.
Welcome and thank you for coming to California. Make sure you get their CD. We wish you all the best now and in the future. John from Charm City Devils, man. Keep rocking.